Good day everyone! For today's lesson, we're going to study multiplying decimals. Let's have an example. Jenny orders 7 boxes of vinegar. If each box costs 404 pesos and 90 centavos, how much does she have to pay for all the boxes of vinegar? In able to solve this, we're going to multiply decimals as you would multiply whole numbers. So let's start. 7 times 0, that is 0. 7 times 9 is 63. So you're going to write 3 at the bottom, then carry 6 at the top of 4. And then 7 times 4, that is equal to 28. Plus 6 is equal to what? Good job, that is 34. So write 4 at the bottom, then carry 3 at the top of 0. 7 times 0, that is 0, plus 3 is equal to 3. And then 7 times 4, that is equal to 28. So let's write 28 at the bottom. Then for the step 2, we're going to write the decimal point in the product based on the total number of decimal places in the factors. So at the first factor, we have 2 decimal places, right? At the second factor, we don't have decimal place. So we have the total of 2 decimal places. So from right, we're going to count 2 from the right. So 1, 2. So that means we're going to write the decimal point between 4 and 3. Is that clear, children? So the product is 2,834.30. Let's have another example. 23.098 times 2.7 is equal to n. So again, children, in able to solve this, we're going to multiply decimals as you would multiply whole numbers. Let's start. 7 times 8, that is 56. Write 6 at the bottom, then carry 5 at the top of 9. 7 times 9, that is 63, plus 5 is equal to 68. Write 8 at the bottom, carry 6 at the top of 0. And then 7 times 0 is equal to 0, plus 6, that is, good job, it's 6. And then 7 times 3, that is 21. So we're going to write 1 at the bottom, then carry 2 at the top of 2. Then 7 times 2, that is 14, plus 2 is equal to, good job, it's 16. So don't forget to write imaginary 0 here. Okay? Then let's begin. 2 times 8, that is equal to 16. Write 6 at the bottom, then carry 1 at the top of 9. 2 times 9 is equal to 18, plus 1 is equal to 19. Write 9 at the bottom, carry 1 at the top of 0. 2 times 0 is equal to 0, plus 1, that is 1. And then 2 times 3, that is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. So now, let's add them. 6 plus 0, that is equal to 6. 8 plus 6 is 14. Write 4 at the bottom, carry 1 at the top of 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 9, that is 16. Write 6 at the bottom, carry 1 at the top of 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 1, that is equal to 3. And then 6 plus 6, that is 12. Write 2 at the bottom, then carry 1 at the top of 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 4, that is 6. So now, let's proceed to step 2. Again, in step 2, write the decimal point in the product based on the total number of decimal places in the factors. So for the first factor, we have 3 decimal places, while on the second factor, we have 1 decimal place, with a total of 3 plus 1, that is 4 decimal places. So from right, let's count 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means the decimal point will be between 2 and 3. Is that clear? So the answer is 62.3646. Let's have another example. 45.2 times 0.35 is equal to n. Again, for the step 1, you need to multiply decimals as you would multiply whole numbers. So let's begin. 5 times 2, that is 10. Write 0 at the bottom, carry 1 at the top of 5. 5 times 5, that is 25, plus 1 is equal to 26. Write 6 at the bottom, carry 2 at the top of 4. 5 times 4, that is 20, plus 2 is equal to 22. Now, let's write the imaginary 0. And then, let's proceed. 3 times 2, that is equal to 6. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry 1. 3 times 4, that is 12, plus 1 is equal to 13. So, let's proceed. Let's write 2 imaginary 0. And then 0 times 2 is equal to 0. 0 times 5, that is 0. And 0 times 4 is also 0. So, now, let's add them. 0 plus 0 plus 0, that is equal to 0. 6 plus 6, that is 12, plus 0 is equal to 12. Write 2 at the bottom, carry 1 at the top of 2. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, plus 5, that is 8. 8 plus 0 is equal to 8. And then 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5, plus 0, that is 5. 1 plus 0 is 1. So now we're done. Let's proceed to step 2. We're going to count the number of decimal places on each factor. On the first factor, we have 1 decimal place, while on the second factor, we have 2 decimal places. So with a total of 3 decimal places in all. So let's count from the right. 1, 2, 3. So that means the decimal point is between 5 and 8. So the product is 15.820, or you can write it as 15.82. Let's have another example. How about if I have this? N is equal to 4.872 times 10. So always remember, children, when multiplying a decimal by 10, 100, or 1000, simply move the decimal point of the decimal to the right based on the number of zeros in the power of 10. So let's have this 4.872 times 10. As you can see, we only have 1 0 here at the 10, right? So that means we're going to move the decimal point 1 to the right. So let's do it. 1. So that means the answer is 48.72. Is that easy? How about if we have this? N is equal to 0.385 times 100. Again, when multiplying a decimal by 10, 100, or 1000, simply move the decimal point of the decimal to the right based on the number of zeros in the power of 10. So here we have 2 zeros from 100, right? So we're going to move the decimal point twice. So let's do it. 1, 2. So that means the decimal point will be at 8 and 5. So we have 38.5. How about if we have this? N is equal to 294.39 times 1000. So here, children, how many zeros do we have? Very good. We have 3 zeros. So that means we're going to move the decimal point thrice. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to put the decimal point here, and as you can see, there's no digit before the decimal point, so we're going to put 0 there. So the answer is 294,390. How about if we have this one? N is equal to 943.58 times 0.1. Always remember, children, when multiplying a decimal by 0.1, 0.01, or 0.001, simply move the decimal point of the decimal to the left based on the number of zeros in the power of 10. So this time, we're going to move the decimal point to the left. Okay? So let's do it. 943.58 times 0.1. So since in 0.1 we only have 1 0, so we're going to move the decimal point one step to the left. Okay, let's do it together. 1. So that means the decimal point will be between 4 and 3. So the answer is 94.358. Is it easy? Let's have another example. N is equal to 0.285 times 0.01. So again, children, we're going to move the decimal point of the decimal to the left based on the number of zeros in the power of 10. So this time in 0.01, we have 2 zeros, right? So we're going to move the decimal point twice to the left. Okay, let's do it together. 1, 2. So the decimal point will be here. And then, since we don't have digit beside the decimal point, we're going to put 0 here. So the product is 0.00285. How about if we have this? N is equal to 8.395 times 1,000. So here, children, how many zeros do we have? Good job, we have 3 zeros. So that means we're going to move thrice to the left. So let's do it together. 1, 2, 3. So that means the decimal point will be here. Then we're going to put 2 zeros before the decimal point. So the answer is 0.008,395. Always remember, multiply decimals as you would multiply whole numbers. And then, write the decimal point in the product based on the total number of decimal places in the factors. And then, when multiplying a decimal by 10, 100, or 1000, simply move the decimal point of the decimal to the right based on the number of zeros in the power of 10. And lastly, when multiplying a decimal by tens, hundreds, and 1000s, simply move the decimal point of the decimal to the left based on the number of zeros in the power of 10. That's all for today, children.